as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Bucket with Jo. Happy Friday and happy Black Friday, everyone. Jo here at SportsGrid. It's time for Bucket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. Now we're going to fly through this show today. I'm on SportsGrid from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern. So we got to make this quick show, 20-minute show here. We're going to jump into each and every single one of these games, picks, props, and predictions. And again, if you're not able to stick around for the next 20 minutes, do come back. I will bookmark what time we do the recap. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, made some money. The Packers game, what a great game if you were riding with the Packers last night. And all of those games actually were pretty good. Well, can you really call the Cowboys and Giants game good? It was, you still had opportunities to make some money. Drew Lock for that rushing touchdown in the second half was priceless. Okay, let's jump into the NHL today. We know the NHL was off the ice yesterday. We'll kick it off with 1 p.m. Eastern matchup between the New York Rangers and the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, the Rangers rolling in here as a favorite, minus 146. This team has been struggling. They need to get back on track, and I expect it to happen here after the 1 day off for Thanksgiving. Plus 122 here for the Flyers. Got a total of 6.5. Now, I do think we'll see a lot more unders today than we will see overs. Igor Shesterkin expected in goal today for the New York Rangers and Fedorov for the Philadelphia Flyers. I don't trust Fedorov in a net here. I do think Mika Zibanejad and Adam Fox come to play in this game. We all know everyone's been questioning what has been happening to Mika. His anytime point today is way too highly juiced at minus 170, but I will take Mika here. He's on the second line and the top power play. I'll take him for the anytime goal at plus 250. You can't take him for a power play point. For some reason, it's not up on FanDuel today for the power play point, but if you can find it on your book, I would look at that as well. Adam Fox coming in here. He has been strong versus the Flyers in his career. He's got 19 points in 20 games versus them, 16 assists and 1 goal. So 17 points versus the Flyers in his career in 20 games. And I do think that point can come for him today. The point is juicy though, at minus 142. So if you want to take Zibanejad and Adam Fox for a point today, parlay those together, you're going to get plus money on that. I do think it's worth a look. You could also look at Adam Fox to come out and get that assist at minus 113. I do think his point comes via assist. Again, I'd look at that power play point if you're able to get it. We know the power play here for the New York Rangers is sitting around 20.4. We got a strong kill, though, for the Flyers. The Flyers' first period bet is a pretty solid angle. We've seen this team be able to come out strong in the first period, but I do think the Rangers need to get back on track. Again, the Rangers are minus 146 on the money line. It's too juicy for me to lay it, but I do think they end up getting the win. Still question marks on if Chris Kreider will hit the ice today. The Chicago Blackhawks coming off that upset win over the Dallas Stars. I sure hope you guys took them on the money line and the over 2.5 in that game. They won it 6-2 and just dominated out there on the ice. Connor Bedard breaking that non-goal streak, getting the goal in that game. They're plus 202 now after Thanksgiving here, minus 250 for the Minnesota Wild. Total of 5.5. I do expect this one to stay under the 5.5. That's coming in at minus 104. I think the Wild on the puck line is the way I'm going to look. I'm not seeing Chicago winning another game over such a strong team. This defense for the Wild is strong. They limit opponents to 2.36 goals per game, first overall in the league. They do allow 29.2 shots on goal, but the Chicago Blackhawks aren't a team that are really lighting things up. Gustafsson expected in net for the Minnesota Wild. So it will be the Wild on the puck line for me, laying the 1.5. Current odds on FanDuel laying the 1.5 is coming in at plus 106. So I think it's a solid way to go. Now, we have seen the Chicago Blackhawks lose the last 6 in Minnesota as well. So trends really do support it. They also have lost their last 9 road games following a home win. So it hasn't been a strong spot for them to jump in on. Mark, happy Friday. I didn't even know what day it was for a second. It's Black Friday. Happy Friday, Mark. I hope your day is going fantastic. And yes, it's a leftover style day unless you worked all day yesterday on the grid and you're making your turkey today out here in Canada. That is what I will be doing. So leftovers will be on deck tomorrow. The Florida Panthers taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Next game here. The Florida Panthers at plus 132 on the road versus the Carolina Hurricanes. We know how strong the Canes are at home. It's minus 160 for them on the money line. Total 6.5. The 6.5 is juiced to the under at minus 122. And I do expect it to stay under this total. We've actually seen a line movement in this juice that you have to pay. It was minus 134 last night over on FanDuel at minus 122. I love it even more, the under 6.5. I expect that defensive lockdown. Now, we know both of these teams can get the puck in the back of the net, light the lamp, but you look at the kill here for the Canes, it's 84.2%. The kill for the Florida Panthers is 80.3. I think coming off Thanksgiving, we will see both of these teams start this game off slower. The Carolina Hurricanes have been so strong at home. I'm going back to the combo of Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis for the point today, parlaying those two players together. Their point separately is just too highly juiced, and they play on that top line together. So the under 6.5 in this one, and then the Canes should get the win here at home. This could be a live betting situation if Florida does go up first. We've seen the Carolina Hurricanes win their last 9 home games. Now, they're off that win versus the Rangers. They've won their last 2. And I think here it's just they play again tomorrow, actually, you guys, in Florida, before I forget to mention that. So we got a home and home situation for these teams where Carolina's at home today, Florida's at home tomorrow. I think they kind of split those where Carolina has the upper hand today. Spencer Martin expected in goal for them. Bobrovsky here for the Florida Panthers. The Tampa Bay Lightning then take on the Nashville Predators. Current lines, the Lightning rolling in as a dog at plus 100. Minus 120 here for the Nashville Predators. Total 6.5. The juice for the total is actually on the under. I do think the books are telling us something, making the Nashville Predators the favorite in this one. We're seeing the Tampa Bay Lightning rolling in with Andrei Vasilevskiy expected in goals. Saros expected here for the Preds. He actually has pretty solid numbers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning come in off that loss to the Capitals at home on Wednesday. They have the Leafs on deck tomorrow. So there's a lot of teams in back-to-back situations. The majority of them are back-to-back situations. Not a lot of teams waiting to play till Sunday. So with the Leafs on deck tomorrow, this is the Tampa Bay Lightning are 4th in the Atlantic. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 1st in the Atlantic. It's a clear look-ahead spot to the Leafs coming off Thanksgiving, playing opponent in the Central, 8th in the Central, kind of overlooking it and looking forward to Saturday hockey versus the Leafs. So I do think the Preds on the money line is the right way to go. They have dominated, though, the Nashville Predators. So a little caution here with this bet. On October 28th, they were able to get the 3-2 win. So it was a tighter game, but they've won 7 of the last 10 meetings against Nashville. So I just think it's that look ahead spot, you guys. The New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals is the next one on deck. The Caps, the juice keeps coming up for this team. They're minus 152 now on that money line, plus 126 for the Isles, and a total of 5.5. I do think this one stays under the 5.5. That's coming in at plus 100. Lower scoring battle between these two teams. The Washington Capitals have actually lost their last 4 home games. They won their last 2 before Thanksgiving, the road on Wednesday versus the Tampa Bay Lightning in a 5-4 comeback situation. It was really odd that they were the dog in that situation. So they're home off a 2-game road trip. They have the Devils tomorrow, who they lost to last week 3-2. The Devils are in the Metro. The Caps are in the Metro. The Isles are in the Metro, but the Isles are 7th in the Metro. The Capitals, I do think, could be looking ahead to the situation with the New Jersey Devils because they already have lost to them just within the last week. I'm going to take the Isles here to come out nice and strong. Sorokin expected in goal for them here. They've got a weak power play. Their kill isn't great, so they have to stay out of the box. They can't allow the Washington Capitals any advantages here. They have lost their last 2 games. They lost to Boston at home on Wednesday. They got completely shelled, 6-3 loss. Defense and goaltending didn't step up in that. I'm looking for that bounce back here. This is a one-off road game. They're home tomorrow versus the Sabres. They need this win. When we look at the Capitals, the road team has won the last 10 games for the Washington Capitals. So I do think advantage here of the Isles, another look-ahead spot for the Capitals with a better opponent in the Metro on deck. Brock Nelson, I think you can look at for the Isles for the anytime goal at plus 260. If you really want to take someone here for the Caps, I'd look at Dylan Strome. Next, we got the Vancouver Canucks, you guys, taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Now, Vancouver, a slight favorite, minus 115 over on FanDuel. We have the Buffalo Sabres at minus 104. Total of 5.5. This 5.5 has a juice to the over, and rightly so. It's ticked up a couple points, but I do think it goes over that 5.5. We know how explosive Vancouver can be offensively. They can light the lamp at any given time, and I do think this is one where they can do so. I hate Vancouver's scheduling spot, though, you guys. They're off a loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins on the road on Wednesday. Day before Thanksgiving. Did they travel home for Thanksgiving? I'm guessing so. They're at the Red Wings on Sunday, so they were road home possibly for a dinner and then back out on the road, and let's say their family just come and join them wherever they're at. Not sure what these teams really did with that one day off. I'm assuming a lot did try to travel to visit family, and because of that, I will look at a team here that was at home and is at home again in what should be a tight battle to be able to get the win. So the Buffalo Sabres for me is going to do it. It's minus 104 for the Sabres, just because of that scheduling spot. And also Tage Thompson back in the lineup. We saw him in that last game on Wednesday versus the Wild at home. He was able to get 6 shots on goal. The Wild won that 1-0. I do think Tage Thompson comes alive again in this game here. I'm going to take him for the anytime goal at plus 185. And for him to light the lamp. The dog in this matchup is 14-0 on the puck line in the last 14 meetings between these two. So we have seen those tight battles out there on the ice between them. Okay, guys, the New Jersey Devils taking on the Detroit Red Wings. The New Jersey Devils are almost a $2 favorite, minus 194 on the money line, plus 160 here for the Red Wings, total 6.5. The 6.5 is juiced to the under at minus 138. When I look at this matchup, we talked about the Capitals with the look ahead. The look ahead is here for the New Jersey Devils as well. They're off a loss to the St. Louis Blues on Wednesday at home. Yes, they were at home. They're traveling out here to face the Detroit Red Wings, who are sitting 6th in the Atlantic. The Devils are 2nd in the Metro. They have a Metro opponent in the Capitals that are so tough tomorrow at home. A Capitals team that has been phenomenal on the road. The Devils will be at home, so the Caps really will have one leg up. I think it's a look ahead for the Devils as well. I don't like that home Thanksgiving, road, home kind of schedule. I think it's not as bad as the road Thanksgiving than road, but you look at a team here that has been at home, had Thanksgiving, is still at home. I think they definitely have the advantage. And when you're giving me the Red Wings at plus 160, it's where I got to go. We know this team is scrappy and they fight back in these matchups. Cam Talbot expected today for the Red Wings and Markstrom expected for the New Jersey Devils. I do think that shifts. I don't think we're going to see Markstrom out there. They need to get the win tomorrow versus the Capitals. We don't see a game tomorrow for the Red Wings. This is one off game. They're not on that second or first night of a back-to-back. They play on Sunday at Vancouver. So they've covered the puck line in their last 4 games. They've been playing tight. They've won 20 of the last 34 matchups versus the New Jersey Devils. So this is a team they've been able to beat. I'll take them straight up on the money line, and considering as well, they've already won the season 5-3 versus the Devils. The Calgary Flames are the next one on deck. The Calgary Flames, really shocking people, sitting 2nd in the Pacific here, stepping up big time. They're taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is a pick 'em either way, minus 110. Total of 6.5, minus 122 to the under. Now, these teams will play again in what's going to be a blink of an eye on December 3rd in Calgary, so they will see each other. Dustin Wolf is expected here for the Calgary Flames and Elvis for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, there is a lot of storyline between these two teams coming together with everything that happened with Johnny Gaudreau. These guys, actually, there's so much heart and love between so many of these players, especially when you look at Monahan and Backlund and how emotional it's going to be on the ice again together when Johnny meant so much to them and he should be there with them as well. I do think Columbus at home has the upper hand in this one. I'm looking for Monty to be able to come out, Monahan, to get that anytime goal versus his former team, because you guys, he did play for Calgary, plus with Johnny at plus 240 for him to really show up in this. Calgary's had a road on either side of Thanksgiving, so it's a bad scheduling spot for Calgary here as well. I really like what Dustin Wolf has brought to the table for the Calgary Flames, but I think this is a hard matchup, and we've seen those wins really come for Wolfie at home. So I'm going to fade Calgary, especially because of that road. I think the Columbus Blue Jackets can get the win. We're getting them at minus 110. It was minus 102 last night. Now, I'll take Monty for the anytime goal at plus 240. Like I said, I'm Backlund here for the anytime goal at plus 320. We've seen Calgary lose 7 road games versus the Metro as well. The Columbus Blue Jackets sitting 6th in the Metro. Now, the Flames, the home team has won the last 10 meetings for the Flames, so that does point us towards Columbus as well. We've also seen the Columbus Blue Jackets win that first period in their last 5. So if you want to look at that versus the Pacific, if you want to look at the first period, that's definitely something to look at. You guys, we got to fly through the rest of these here because, again, I have to run and get into the green room because I'm on the grid at noon. Let's just, Daniel, happy Black Friday. The Pittsburgh Penguins, oh no. We're at the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken taking on the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks have been a live dog, and they're coming in at plus 132. Minus 160 for the Kraken, total of 5.5. Looking at this, I'm going to go over the 5.5. I do think the Kraken and the Sharks both put up goals, but I'm going to look at the Sharks here to come away with the win. They're coming in at plus 132. Celebrini, anytime goal at plus 230, and Toffoli, anytime goal at plus 240. Joey Daccord expected here for the Kraken. His numbers versus the San Jose Sharks just aren't that great. Vanacek confirmed here for the Sharks, and his numbers aren't great either. So it really does play to that over back-to-back here. They do play in Seattle tomorrow. So I think the Sharks win here. Seattle returns home and is able to get the win tomorrow, unless we see the complete blowout. And then I think Seattle might be vulnerable to lose 2 here to the San Jose Sharks. Looking at the LA Kings, they will face the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks, a plus 172 underdog, minus 210 here for the Kings, total of 5.5. We're able to get the Kings in their last game. They're off that win versus the Winnipeg Jets, 4-2. As a dog at home before Thanksgiving. Their kill is stronger here, and they play a strong defensive game. I do think they get the win in this one, but the juice is starting to tick up. Minus 210. This is interesting. I would look at in regulation. In regulation, you can get them right around that minus 120, minus 125 mark. They did win back on October 20th, 4-1. The Ducks play in tight games, and that's why I don't want to take the puck line here for the LA Kings. They've covered the puck line in their last 8. Dostal has been strong in that. I do think this one stays under that total sitting at 5.5 at plus 106 to the under, as long as Dostal does what we've seen him be able to do, which is really limit the opponent's ability to get those high danger shots and just be sharp in goal. The Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Boston Bruins. The Pittsburgh Penguins are coming in as a dog at plus 142. Minus 172 here for the Boston Bruins. Total 5.5. Minus 122 to the over here. I'm going to look at Pittsburgh's team total over 3.5. I really do think they'll get 4 goals today on Swayman. I don't trust Swayman and what we've seen out of him in goal here. For the Boston Bruins, I think he's vulnerable to the Pittsburgh Penguins, especially after Thanksgiving, because I think they can get over their team total of 3.5. You can just look at the full game over 5.5 at minus 122. That's dropped in juice last night. It was minus 134. So I'm glad to see it dropping in the way that I want it to drop. If Boston wins here, it's a low defensive battle. Penguins, if they win, because they allow so many shots on goal, I do think the Bruins will score as well. So it's got to be a higher scoring one if you like the Penguins to win. We have seen Boston win 2 of the 3 meetings last season, and they've won 14 of their last 17 home games with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So it's a hard spot to take the Penguins, but I got to do it, you guys. I still am not a believer in Swayman. His save percentage right now, or his save percentage versus the Penguins, is 888. He's got a 3.16 goals against average. I do think Pittsburgh, they're off that win versus Vancouver at home on Wednesday, 5-4. So they haven't had to travel till today. They were at home. One off-road game, home tomorrow versus the Flames. They just need every win. They're sitting 8th in the Metro. The Winnipeg Jets versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I think this is going to be a great game, and one that I think Las Vegas can come out and cover that puck line. So current odds on this, -104 for the Las Vegas Golden Knights on the money line. I'm looking at the reverse puck line, you guys. So let's just pull that up. The total sitting at 5.5. The reverse puck line for this game, we've taken it a couple of times. It's cashed a couple times. It hasn't cashed the others. The reverse puck line for the Vegas Golden Knights is coming in, laying the 1.5 at +235. I'm writing it down so I don't forget to go bet it as soon as we are done here. I really do think Vegas has every opportunity of winning this and winning this by 2. They've won and covered the puck line in the last 7 meetings versus the Winnipeg Jets. So this is a team where they step up, they get those wins, they cover the puck line. First night of a back-to-back, no look ahead. It's Utah, the hockey club on deck tomorrow, which it's the Winnipeg Jets, the first team in the Central, the first team in the Pacific here with Vegas. This is a game that they want to show up to. Neither team is great on the kill, so we need both of these teams to be smart when it comes to not taking those penalties because we got elite power plays on both sides of the puck. The Winnipeg Jets, their power play converting at 33.6%. The Vegas Golden Knights at 30.4%. This would be your game. You want to look at the power play points. You want to look at who you trust on the power play to get the puck in the back of the net. Now, we look at Vegas. I would look at Vegas for the power play points because when we look at who takes more penalties, it is the Winnipeg Jets. They're averaging 8.4 minutes in the box per game. The Vegas Golden Knights only averaging a 5.8, second best in the league. Power play points for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I almost said Raiders. I know the Raiders game is coming up. 2 more games, you guys, then we'll do the recap. Again, honestly, have to fly here. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. The Edmonton Oilers taking on the Utah Hockey Club. Simple in this one. Give me the over 6.5. I know I said expecting more unders, and I know Vegas or Edmonton can lock down, sometimes strong defensively. I still don't trust Stuart Skinner in goal. This team also has high expected 5-on-5 goals. They have the second highest high danger shots on net per game. And when we look at Utah, their 4th highest danger shots on goal. So when we take a Utah team that has the 4th highest danger shots on goal versus Stuart Skinner, this has to go over the total because Utah is going to get the goals on them. We know Edmonton, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, that tandem is electric out there on the ice. They're going to be stepping up. So give me the over 6.5. Odds on this one here. The over 6.5 at +102. I think you can look at first period, both teams to score in the first period. This one to start out really hot. The Oilers are off a game, which they were able to put up 6 goals. So I do think this is another one where they should come out strong. Now, I can't take the Oilers on the puck line. They're 0-5 on the puck line off a win. So they are coming off the win versus the Rangers at home on Saturday. So this team is rested. This is their first game of a 3-game road trip. First night of a back-to-back, they have the Avs on deck tomorrow. So another look-ahead situation to a strong team versus the Colorado Avalanche when they're taking on the Utah Hockey Club. The Utah Hockey Club's won the last 4 first periods versus the Pacific, if you want to look at that too. And last but not least, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Dallas Stars. Current odds on this one, you guys. The Avs rolling in as the underdog at +108, -130 here for the Dallas Stars, total of 6.5. I'm taking the Stars first period on the money line. I think they can come out and get a hot start here. Georgiev, we know he had that fall apart game. Colorado was able to get the win at home versus Vegas in a shootout game, 2-1. So we did see that bounce back out of Colorado. The Dallas Stars here are so strong on the defensive side of the puck. That kills coming in at 81.7%. I think the Stars get up in the first period, and I see that lockdown coming. But I still think there's a couple of players you have to circle because I think this game has the opportunity of going to overtime. Overtime in this late game coming in at +380. Battle of the Central here. So the Avs are 4th in the Central, 3rd in the Central here for the Stars. Overtime bet, I think, is the best bet of this game. Wyatt Johnson, though, I'll look at the point here for him for the Dallas Stars. That's coming in at -142, or the goal at +200. I don't love the juice on Wyatt Johnson. You can parlay that with Nichushkin. I think Valerie Nichushkin comes out and gets a point tonight. That's coming in at minus 128 for the Avs. So if you parlay both of those together, Wyatt Johnson and Valerie Nichushkin for their point tonight, you're going to get great plus money. Now, Nichushkin is on the top line and the top power play. He used to play here for the Dallas Stars. So you got that revenge angle as well. You can also look at Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar. You know how strong they are on the power play here for the Avs. And if you're looking at the Stars, Jason Robinson and Jamie Benn would be who I would circle over there. This is the first night of a back-to-back with road and home here for Colorado. They're at home versus the Oilers tomorrow. They can't look ahead to the Oilers, and if they come out really strong in this one and dominate the Stars, they're going to have a hard time versus the Oilers. Automatically, that will be an over for me in that one because this defense can look tired in those back-to-back situations. So that is where I'm going, you guys. We have 4 minutes to do the recap. I don't have time for everything today, you guys, like normal, but we will be back in the normal swing of things tomorrow. I've got to be on the grid from noon Eastern here, so I have to jump into the green room. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here. It is a 26-minute mark. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. We're going to do the recap, and then I'm going to send you on your merry way. If you're looking for my best bets in the Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs game, you got to check out the SportsGrid app. That is going to be up soon. Okay, recap time. The New York Rangers versus the Philadelphia Flyers. The Rangers have to get back on track. I think they're able to get the win here today. The juice is just not something I love. If the Flyers go out first, I will be live betting the Rangers to come back and get the win. Mika Zibanejad, I think, will get the goal at plus 250. You can look at Adam Fox and Mika Zibanejad for a point each parlayed together. Adam Fox for the assist at minus 113. If you're brave enough to take him for the goal, it's plus 750 and definitely will pay off if he gets it. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild. Give me the Wild on the puck line, laying 1.5 at plus 108. The Florida Panthers versus the Carolina Hurricanes. I think this one stays under the total of 6.5. Juice is dropping on that, so I love that. I think Carolina gets the win. Here at home, it's just too juicy. They do play in Florida tomorrow. Give me Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis for the point. Parlayed together because they're too juicy otherwise. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators. Give me the Predators at home on the money line at minus 122. The New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals. I do think the Islanders are in a prime situation here to get the win with that plus money. Give me Brock Nelson for the anytime goal. Dylan Strome for the goal for the Washington Capitals. The Vancouver Canucks taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Give me the home dog in the Sabres. It's moved to a pick'em. They were plus money as of last night. Tyce Thompson for the anytime goal at plus 185 and the over 5.5 I do think is in play in this game. The New Jersey Devils and the Detroit Red Wings. I think the Devils are in a look ahead spot. I'm going to play on the Red Wings with that great plus money we're getting for this team that's scrappy here, able to cover those puck lines, playing tight battles here at home. This could be another overtime game. The Calgary Flames versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. They play again in Calgary on December 3rd. I think Columbus wins this one here at home. Give me Columbus on the money line at home. Give me Monahan for the anytime goal at plus 240 versus his former team. And Backlund's for his anytime goal at plus 320 for Calgary. The Seattle Kraken versus the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks are barking, you guys, plus 130-ish on the money line at home today. Celebrini for the anytime goal at plus 230. Tyler Toffoli, I trust more, though, at plus 240. The over 5.5 in this matchup. The LA Kings versus the Anaheim Ducks. The Kings in regulation is where I'll go. That's coming in right around the minus 120, minus 125 mark. The Pittsburgh Penguins, I'll look at their team total over 3.5 versus the Boston Bruins. Again, lack of faith in Swayman in goal. I do think this one goes over the total of 5.5 as well. The Winnipeg Jets versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Give me Vegas on the reverse puck line. Reverse puck line numbers for the Vegas Golden Knights, laying at 1.5 because they are the dog at home. They're in the Fortress. You're telling me the Winnipeg Jets are going to come in and roll them? I am not believing it. Hard scheduling spot here for the Winnipeg Jets. They lost to the Kings in LA. They have now another road game here. Did they go home? Did they not? Huge question marks. But the Kings minus 1.5, or sorry, the Knights minus 1.5 coming in at plus 235. I love it. They limit their penalty opportunities for their opponent, only averaging 5.8 minutes in the box. And look at the power play points here. Both of these teams have elite power plays. The kill, both of them at 77.6%. just because Vegas spends less time in the box, they're going to have more opportunities. So I take Vegas power play points tonight. Edmonton versus Utah, give me the over 6.5. I think higher scoring matchup with those high danger shots coming in. Colorado versus Dallas, give me the Stars in the first period on the money line. I'm going to take Wyatt Johnson for the point at minus 142. Parlay that with Natushkin of the Avs for the point. That's coming in at minus 128. Together, they're going to give you plus money. I'll look at Wyatt Johnson for the anytime goal at plus 200. Natushkin for the power play point if you can get it on your book. You can also circle Nathan McKinnon, Kale McCarr, Jason Robinson, and Jamie Benn. Overtime game here for me at plus 380. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on Pocket with Jo, on SportsGrid TV, on X. Again, extended show tomorrow. Sorry, I had to rush through this. Have to get in the green room for my show on SportsGrid. Make sure you come over and join myself and George Kurtz. We are live from noon Eastern to 2 o'clock. We'll be taking you through all of these games, talking more in depth about them, also talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to be throwing in some college football out there. If you haven't got my college football best bets today, it is up on the Cup of Joe. The Raiders and the Chiefs, I talk as well. I've got a lot of bets in that one for the best bets. Head on over to the SportsGrid app. That will be up soon. You guys, all the best in your bets. We're flying today. I will talk to you tomorrow. Happy Black Friday. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.